Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving headfirst into a world where cars are so much more than just transportation. They're canvases for self-expression, they're tools for rebellion, and they're powerful symbols of a totally unique cultural identity. Yeah, we are getting into the absolutely fascinating world of Japanese car culture. So, here's how we're going to break this down. We'll start at the very beginning, with the roots of this whole revolution. Then, we'll explore the incredible, wild spectrum of styles out there. After that, we'll dig into the core debate, performance versus aesthetics. We'll uncover the guiding philosophy behind it all, and finally, we'll see how this whole thing became a massive global obsession. All right, let's rewind. To really get what this culture is all about, you gotta go back to the very beginning, to the cars that first lit that fire and sparked a full-blown revolution on the streets of Japan. You see, after World War II, Japan's auto industry didn't just get back on its feet, it absolutely took off. By the 70s and 80s, you had these legendary, and this is the key part, affordable sports cars just rolling off the production lines. Think of Nissan Skylines, Toyota Supras, Honda Civics. These weren't just cars, they were blank canvases. And this gave birth to the Hashiriya, the street racers who grabbed these machines and just started pushing them to their absolute limits, creating a whole culture of performance and tuning right there on the streets. Okay, so you've got this foundation, right? Performance, tuning. But this is where things get really interesting. This is where that basic idea just blossoms into this incredible, almost mind-boggling variety of distinct styles. This is where the real self-expression kicks in. Let's kick things off with the one you've probably heard of, JDM. It stands for Japanese Domestic Market, and, at its heart, it's really a philosophy of authenticity. It's all about using genuine, high-quality Japanese parts because, hey, they're designed for these cars. The idea is to enhance performance while keeping a clean, purposeful look. It's about respecting the original engineering and then just making it better with the best stuff you can find. And this slide, it perfectly shows what I'm talking about. These aren't just random names. These are absolute legends. HKS and Greddy for making power, Volk and Rays for wheels that are crazy light and strong, and Bride for seats that hold you in place when you're pulling some serious G's. Every single part has a purpose and a pedigree. Okay, so from pure straight-line speed, we pivot to something that's, well, it's more like poetry in motion. We're talking about drift culture. Born on the twisting mountain roads of Japan, it's the art of controlled chaos, of going sideways with impeccable style, made famous by the one and only drift king, Keiichi Tsuchiya. And what's so cool here is how the car itself becomes this super specialized tool, right? You need specific cars, like the beautifully balanced Nissan Silvia. And the mods, they aren't for looks. An angle kit lets you get those insane steering angles, and a welded diff forces both rear wheels to spin together, making it way easier to kick the back end out and hold that perfect smoky slide. All right, buckle up because we are taking a sharp left turn. Forget everything about lap times. Forget clean lines. We are diving into Bosozoku. This is the absolute wild child of Japanese car culture, and it's got its roots in 1970s biker gangs. This is pure, unapologetic rebellion on four wheels. And the whole point here, it's literally shock value. These cars are built to be as loud, as in-your-face, as disruptive as humanly possible. Those Taikiari or bamboo spare exhausts can stretch for feet up into the air. The splitters are ridiculously long. It's a very deliberate, very visual middle finger to conformity. So we go from screaming rebellion to something a lot quieter, but believe me, it is just as intimidating. Let's talk VIP style. Word is, it started with the Yakuza in Osaka, and the whole point is to take these big, high-end luxury sedans and make them project this aura of wealth and, frankly, intimidation. Yeah, the whole game with VIP style is presence. You start with a big luxury boat, you slam it to the ground, and then you fit these enormous, polished, deep dish wheels. That crazy inward tilt of the wheels, that's called Oni-kyan, or demon camber, and it's all part of creating a look that is somehow both beautiful and super menacing at the same time. And to round out our tour of styles, we've got this amazing collision of two giant Japanese subcultures. This is Itasha. Now, that literally translates to painful car. And yeah, the idea is that it's almost painfully embarrassing or painful to look at, but in the best way possible. It's all about proudly wrapping your entire ride with your favorite characters from anime, manga, or video games. It's a bold, passionate statement.
Okay, so we've seen racers, rebels, rolling luxury lounges, and art projects on wheels. It's a lot, right? So how do you even begin to categorize all this? Well, it pretty much boils down to two main camps.
See, on one side you've got your performance junkies, the drifters, the tube racers duking it out on mountain passes, the time attack guys chasing every last thousandth of a second. For them, every single mod has to make the car faster or handle better, period. But then, on the other side, you have the builders who are all about aesthetics. Their goal is visual impact, identity, self-expression. VIP, Itasha, Bosozoku. It's all about creating a specific look, making a statement.
But here's the thing, whether you're chasing lap times or turning heads, what's the deep down mindset that drives this insane level of dedication across every single one of these styles?
The first big idea here is Kaizen. You might have heard it in a business context, but it's a core Japanese philosophy, continuous improvement. For a car enthusiast, this means your project is never, ever really finished. It's a constant loop of driving, feeling a tiny imperfection, maybe a little hesitation in the engine, a bit of body roll, and then it's back to the garage to fix it. You're always making these small tweaks, refining the setup, always chasing a slightly better version of your car. And that flows right into our second concept, Kodawari. And this is a whole other level. This is a deep, personal commitment to excellence. It's an obsessive perfectionism and an insane attention to detail. We're not just talking about getting the job done, we're talking about doing it flawlessly, even the parts that nobody is ever going to see. This is why you see engine bays so clean you could eat off them and wheel fitment that's measured in millimeters. It's a relentless pursuit of an ideal, all driven by personal pride. So you take this foundation of continuous improvement and obsessive perfection. It's no surprise this whole scene didn't stay a secret in Japan for long, right? So for our last section, let's look at how this thing just exploded and became this massive global phenomenon. You know what lit the fuse? Pop culture. It was the turbocharger for the whole scene. You had anime like Initial D that didn't just show cool cars, it made heroes out of regular kids in regular cars battling it out on mountain roads. Then Hollywood gets in on it with Tokyo Drift, putting the style and the spectacle on the big screen. But honestly, the real game changer was video games. Gran Turismo, Need for Speed, they put these cars and the entire culture of modifying them right into the hands of millions of people all over the world. It created a whole generation of fans who were building their dream JDM cars digitally long before they could ever drive a real one. So, at the end of the day, what's the big takeaway here? Japanese car culture, it's not just about making cars lower or faster. It's this incredibly rich tapestry of identity, of meticulous craftsmanship, artistic expression, and yeah, sometimes just pure uncut rebellion. It's about taking a mass-produced object and pouring so much of your personality into it that it becomes something that is uniquely, unmistakably yours. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. As the cars we drive every day become safer, more efficient, and, let's be honest, more and more alike, what does this amazing culture of pure personality tell us about our own need to stand out? And what do we risk losing when we trade all that personality for practicality?